welcome to the Oileánach Knits podcast. My name is Heather. My pronouns are they, them. I am the knitter, designer, creator behind Oileánach Knits. And I am coming to you from St. John's, Newfoundland, Ktaqmkuk, and it's April now. It's deceptively sunny. I don't trust it. We don't really do sunny here in spring, so I'm just bracing for another snowstorm, but for now we're having some nice weather and that feels nice and like a beginning, which is really nice. It's been a while since I have podcasted. I guess it's been a month since I got home from my trip. Is when I made the last one, and it was feeling like time to do it again, I suppose. I've really fallen out of the habit, but very much want to get back into the habit, and I've released a few patterns since the last time I podcasted and started a few new things. It's been a bit of a hectic month, really. I spent some time out in Sweet Bay at the cabin that my family has, which is my favorite place, basically. And I had my birthday, had a nice time. Not usually much of a big birthday person, really, but had a nice time hanging out with some friends, and that's it really, honestly. I've just been working all month. It's been very, very hectic. Yeah. I just forget how much glare these pick up because I always sit next to a window for the light. Anyway, so yeah, wanted to show you some things and see what's up, really. Yeah, I've been trying to use social media less. I know I probably say this every time, but it just doesn't always feel like a very fun place to be. I mean, the knitting community is really lovely, and that is something I appreciate, but I suppose I also have like a personal Instagram that I use for my writing work, I suppose, and I've been trying to, one of my goals this year is to get back into doing more photography work, and have had to kind of pick that up again in a social media sense, and that's been frankly just no fun at all. And so yeah, I've been feeling very burnt out on social media lately, which is one of the reasons I haven't really been on here as much either. I just burnt out, yeah, that's the word for it. And I used to find this all the time with the photography work. I guess like to compare the two, the knitting kind of social media network world is so supportive and sweet, and everyone's just kind to each other, and we knit things and we chat and it's nice. And the photography kind of Instagram world is very like cutthroat. Anytime you do anything or post anything, 10 people immediately copy it. People are constantly clawing over each other trying to, move up in the world. It's like I've been back at it for like a week and I feel so burnt out already. I wish there was some way, I wish photos weren't literally front and center in social media, though I guess videos and reels are now. But anyway, it's exhausting and no fun, and I just want to take pictures and sell them and leave it at that. But it feels like these days everyone wants you to be an influencer too, which I'm just really not really interested in, though I do recognize the irony in the fact that I am talking to myself on a computer screen right now. Okay, I'm gonna move on because otherwise I'll just shut this off and stop working on it because the internet, I don't love it. Anyways, I also started painting my office. I got most of the way done, so I'm painting it white, as you can see, after its legacy of being, like, there's still one wall that's not painted because I had to, like, move all the furniture. And it's this, like, hideous robin's egg blue, which, I mean, I've got nothing against robins or their eggs or, like, colors in nature, but I'm just not a blue person. And once again, the irony strikes because I'm wearing a blue shirt, but it's the only blue shirt I own. And I usually just kind of wear it as a layer to put under wool sweaters. I just got too warm and had to take the wool sweater off. Anyways, I digress. I just was not feeling the color of my office, and I've wanted to do this ever since I moved in, and as a little birthday treat to myself last week, I started the painting. But since it was already blue and I'm painting it white, I've had to paint like 4 coats. And I have only just yesterday finished the last coat, and I hope and I think that you can't see the blue. But it feels exciting. It feels like a nice refreshing change, and it honestly makes it so much brighter in here, which is really nice. And I think I'll be able to take way better photos because, yeah, didn't love that blue wall background, but this is exciting, and I feel like this could partly be a little photo studio space as well. So I'm excited to see what comes from that. And also I'm running a sale right now, which I'll tell you about, just in case you get bored and close it out halfway through the video. The sale is on it is on all of my patterns on Ravelry, 15% off, and it is on until April 15th at midnight, or like 11:59 on April 15th, turning into April 16th. So 50% off all my patterns. 15, sorry, I didn't pronounce that very well. 15% off my patterns. And there's a discount code. It is, I think, print shop 15. If that is not correct, I will put it in letters and words on your screen, and I will also put the link or the I'll write it in the description box. But I think it's print shop 15. Film? Shit. Okay. Well, I can't remember, so I'll write it here. And the entire purpose of this is that I really want to develop all of the film that I took. I took 10 rolls of film on my trip in the Canary Islands, and I'm really impatient. I want to see them so badly. I think they're amazing, but it's obviously difficult to tell. So I want to see them so badly, and it's so expensive to develop film that I'm running this discount so that you can help me fund getting this film developed. Or you can just, ignore my motives and get 15% off my patterns. So that is a thing that you should be aware of. Yeah, so the last time I had recorded, ignore the start of that sentence because it's not where I meant to go with this. Since the last time I recorded, I have released 2 patterns. So one of them is the Solastalgia cardigan that I have talked about so much on this podcast, like probably the last 4 or 5 episodes, because it took a long time. But yeah, so you can go back through if you'd like to hear all the details and stuff. I won't bore you with all that now, but it's just it's a let lopey cardigan. It's knit in the round and steeked up the middle, and then the button bands are added. And the buttons, I don't think I did the most amazing job of sewing my buttons are because all the little threads are coming loose now. So I'm gonna have to find a way to make those look a little more solid. But they're very sweet little wooden buttons. Acacia wood, I think, maybe, or mango wood. I don't remember now. I bought them on Etsy. and it was knit with Let Lopi, and it has all these nice little caribou and candlelight, and I'm a really big fan. I've been wearing it a lot as a jacket for the spring, which is really fun, and I'm a big fan. And that's available now on my Ravelry is where it is available. So you can have a look there, and you can see my testers have done some really beautiful ones as well. I didn't, like, the colors I chose don't necessarily have the most contrast, but most of my testers used white as the contrast color and then like a darker color, so they really pop and they look beautiful. So that is available now on my Ravelry, and it's 15% off. Yeah, big fan. And then I also released, and I had released this while I was in the Canary Islands, but was so spaced out when I got home that I didn't mention it in my last podcast. So this is the Fancy Camp bandana, and this was knit with, oh, I don't have it here, that's fine. This is knit with Cloud by Woolen Twine, Eula, and this was a collaboration for the yarn release, and it was so much fun, and I'm so grateful to Eula for letting me do this. When she reached out about doing a yarn collaboration for mohair, I was kind of like, I hadn't really used mohair a lot at that point, and like only ever held with other things, never on its own. So it was a really fun challenge to come up with. She wanted an accessory, something that would kind of take up one skein, and it was a really fun challenge to design something like this. So it has rows of garter stitch and then little eyelet snowflakes, and I wound up editing it a little bit afterwards, so it is actually a little bit wider than this, but I really like to wear it like a cowboy, like this. And I think that's really fun, and especially if you're wearing like a blazer or something. That sounds fancy. I mean, it is a fancy camp bandana, but yeah, it's really fun to wear if you've got like a jacket or something, so it can sit like this, or you can always wear it kind of over your shoulders and have the, I'm not gonna wrangle to try and let you see, but you know what I mean, have the like triangle down the back. I originally designed it thinking about having like a white blouse with a collar, and then kind of having it like the French style where you've got like a brooch right here or something. Yeah, and so it was kind of designed as a nod to the like camp counselor style bandana, that where you've got the triangle in the back and the knot in the front, like I was thinking of Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom and the camp counselor outfits, but then make it fancy, you know? Anyway, this was a ton of fun to design and a ton of fun to wear, and I think I'm really enjoying. I've done a few like fancy things now, even though I'm much more of a rustic knitter normally, but it is really fun to make fancy things that you can kind of play with and learn how to style. So this was super fun. This is also 15% off right now and available on my Ravelry, and I believe Eula has either just put out her March, no, I guess it wouldn't be March, but I believe she's either just put up a shop update with more of the Cloud silk mohair, or she's about to. So I would check in on that. And yeah, it's really stunning. It is so soft, and it comes in obviously the most beautiful natural dyed colors, and you should really watch. I'll link it right here if I can figure out how, like a link up here where she shows, she's got a video on YouTube where she talks about the cloud silk mohair and the process behind how she sourced an ethical silk mohair. And it's really interesting, so you should definitely give that a watch as well. So yeah, these two have both come out in the last month and are now on my Ravelry. And what else? I'm also currently working on another one of the fancy hand bandanas in a nice brown. So it's a little preview of what that looks like, I suppose. And I've got a few other things that I'm working on right now, but another one, just hold on one second. So another new release is the 52 Weeks of Socks, Volume 2 by Lane, is how I would think it was pronounced, but I feel like I've heard a different pronunciation and I don't remember what it is. But I finally received my copy and my socks back. So these are the Yorna socks, and I designed these with wool and twine again, a Corriedale sock held with Bichet Bouche Le Petit Mohair. And I received them back in the mail and immediately took my socks off and put these on. And this is the first time I've taken them off since. They're so cozy. Like, I can barely describe how pleasant it is to wear mohair socks. It's the best feeling in the world. They feel beautiful. Yeah, so these are super fun. They are featured on page 160. And they are week 32. So that's really exciting. It's really wild, actually. This is the first time I've opened the book, aside from putting the bookmark in. It's so exciting to see my work in a book. Yeah, so that's really exciting. I really can't wait to explore this. There's some really, really stunning sock patterns in here. And most of the socks I've designed so far have been the same kind of construction with the afterthought heel, which is just the first kind that I learned how to do, and I sort of stuck with it for a long time. But I've been working on a pattern with a heel flapping gusset, and I think I like that a lot more. So I'm excited just to go through this and learn different sock techniques and to just see the different, like, work on different ways of making socks. There's so many beautiful pairs in here. Yeah, so this is really exciting, and I can't wait to see more of them and see what happens. And then, other than that, I have been working on a little... Oh wait, I missed the huge project that's sitting on the floor, but so this is another thing that I've been working on. Just a little hat that will be an accompaniment for the Solastalgia cardigan. So it's got like the first row of candles done, and then there will be the caribou and more candles. And this is really sweet. I've never... Is this true? I'm not sure if it's true, so I won't say it. But I've very rarely worked a bigger project with Jameson. Oh no, this is Jameson's of Shetland, not Jameson and Smith. So I've definitely never worked on a big project with Jameson's of Shetland because it's very hard to get here. There is a wool shop about 2 hours drive from me that, no, that's a lie. It's maybe an hour. But it's fairly new, and they have a lot of British breeds, which is super exciting because that's a lot of the stuff that I really love. And so I've started picking up little balls of Jameson's when I go out there. And this is Wren, which I think is just so beautiful. Like the depth of the colors of these are so lovely. And even like seeing it in the ball, you think it's gorgeous, but as you start to see it knit up, it's just so beautiful. It's probably not going to show up really. The sun is coming out. The sun is coming out. I need to go outside. Okay, I'll finish up kind of quickly now maybe. Yeah, anyway, I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's really interesting to see a motif. Like I decided to use the same motif, just, you know, on a much smaller needle size and a much smaller yarn. And it's really interesting to see how it works up on a tight gauge. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be really lovely. And I've got a few other things that I'm kind of working on, but I don't, like where I've been feeling so burnt out lately, I don't want to put as much pressure on myself to be finishing everything so quickly. So I don't want to show it just yet because I know that once I do, and like the minute I get a comment from someone saying that they like it, I'll be like, oh no, I have to release it right now. So I'm not going to do that, but I do have something that I have finished, which it looks so simple, and yet I think that's what I like so much about it. So this, I haven't come up with a name yet, but this was sort of my like slow winter project. And it may be hard to see here, but it's actually quite fitted and cropped. Yeah, it doesn't really look like that from here, but I posted a photo on my Instagram wearing it with a pair of like trousers, and I think it looks very, very urban, very chic, which is not usually the way I go about things. But yeah, this was inspired by, it's Let Lopey, of course. It was inspired by basically realizing that I had a trip to Iceland booked this year and thinking about what I might want to buy if I went to the Iceland store. And then kind of looking on their website and realizing I liked all the sweaters that were there, but none of them felt like the perfect one. And then I realized I'm a designer and I've got a lot of Let Lopey, so I could just design my own. And so this is what I would consider my perfect Iceland sweater. And I looked at lots and lots of photos online of different like vintage Lopey sweaters that were for sale in like thrift stores and stuff. Trying to kind of find my perfect combination. And I believe this is her. So I guess you can't tell as much. Why don't I just put it on? I'll just put it on. I'll be right back. So as you might be able to tell, especially considering my usual way of wearing things, this is quite fitted. I usually like things to be really big and boxy, but this is quite close to my body and my arms. So it was designed to have 0 to 2 inches of just ease, because 0 would be no ease to 2 positive ease. And obviously you can work with that however you want. So the motif ends quite a bit before splitting for sleeves, so it's mostly just up on the shoulders. I thought that was kind of a fun detail. And I've also got the color work on the cuff and on the hem. And yeah, it falls just below my natural waist, so it fits kind of just over, like I'm quite tall, so most of my high-waisted pants don't actually come to my natural waist, so it hits like just below where high-waisted pants would sit. And yeah, it's so cozy, and it's really interesting to put on a newly finished Lopey sweater, because it does actually feel quite scratchy when you first put it on. which I guess I hadn't really thought about in a while because most of my Lopi sweaters I've been wearing for quite a while and they soften up so much. But yeah, so this is my newest creation. I haven't yet figured out the name. I'm also going to take it off because I'm sitting next to a sunny window and it's quite warm. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Very warm. Okay, yes, so it doesn't have a name yet. It should probably have a name. I don't know yet. I'll need to figure it out. I was thinking maybe something to do with icebergs because of these guys, but that feels disingenuous because I wasn't thinking about icebergs when I knit it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll sort it out. This I will be calling for test knitters very soon. My intention was actually to be calling for test knitters as I put this video out, but I have not had time to finish grading yet. So suffice it to say that will be happening very soon, hopefully this week. So hopefully before like mid-April. Okay, it's nowhere near mid-April right now, it's April 3rd. So I would say hopefully before April 8th, I'll be calling for test knitters. So if that's something you're interested in, you should check out my Instagram. The link will be down below. And that's where I will be calling for test knitters when I do. And when I call for test knitters, I usually put up the call and then wait 24 hours before I choose so that people have time to apply if they're interested. And yeah, if you have any ideas for names, feel free to toss them out. I don't know, I feel like I put so much work into naming sweaters and designs first when I started, but the farther I go, the more I feel like if the name doesn't come to me by the time I'm ready to call for test knitters, then it doesn't need to have a fancy name. It can just be the gray one. Yeah, so I'll see about that. I feel like I'm really excited to decorate this room. Sorry, ADHD. I am excited to decorate this room now though. Like I can see myself in the screen right now, so I'm looking at this big blank white wall and all I'm thinking about is wanting to fill it up with art and hanging plants and all kinds of fun things. I'd like to get shelving to put along the top of the wall so that I can put all my like projects and baskets of wool up there, just to kind of get everything up off the floor, because I feel like painting this room was the beginning of the act of trying to organize it. That was the big goal. Yeah, so I think that is all my knitting projects. But I don't know, I've been thinking a lot lately about, I guess, my goals for this year. And one of my biggest goals is to kind of get back into working with photography. And yeah, I really want to start. I think most of the photos that I took last year, I was going through my my photo archives yesterday while I was working on updating my photo website, and all of the photos I took last year were either film photos or all of the digital photos that I took all year long were just photos of my knitting. So I find that really interesting, and I found like moving into film photography so rewarding, even though it's so expensive. And yeah, I don't really know what the point of sharing this was. I guess I'm just really excited about film photography right now, and I'm really excited about kind of finding ways to reinvigorate all of my creative practices, I think. And finding my way back to a love of photography via film, and like finding real joy in it again. That's something, like, I thought it was dead for me. I thought photos had been ruined for me for life by kind of my time in the wedding industry. And so, I don't know, I think it's just brought a lot of hope in terms of how I can find fresh ways of looking at the work I'm doing. And I guess that's just really exciting, and I wanted to share that. Yeah. So I guess that really is all I have to share for today. And I hope that you're having a nice spring. I hope that you're really getting some spring. And I hope that you are having lots of lovely crafting time, and I hope the sun is coming back for you. I hope you get some vitamin D. Yeah, and I hope that you're having a nice time. So happy knitting to you, and I'll talk to you again soon, hopefully sooner than the last time. And yeah, talk to you soon. See ya.